Wow. Okay. We're back. Honestly, I have no idea what happened. Streamlabs just shit the bed. So. Anyways. I have to keep a closer eye on it. I don't want that to happen, like, while I'm doing MSQ or something. Like, I don't really care about this stream that much. Other than the fact that it's probably sending notifications to people like crazy. But, that being said, alright, anyways, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. I decided to go back to, Westfall. And by the way, I believe that frame drop is from the hardcore deathlog, because it's just like a server-wide add-on or whatever. But yeah, I decided to go back to Westfall because I've got a level 14 quest I can do. Shouldn't be too dangerous. So yeah, and yeah, I was saying, like, there's all kinds of restrictions with the hardcore game mode within World of Warcraft. At least it's the mod that set up the hardcore game mode, I should say. Like, you can only do a dungeon one time while you're leveling up. If you're dead, you're dead, obviously, and it pops it up here so everybody can see when you die. And everybody who's got this add-on is linked throughout the server. It's kind of crazy when somebody dies in the guild, like it pops up like right here in the middle of the screen and tells you what they were doing. I don't know how they were able to track all that stuff, but they've been able to track pretty much all of it. And the amount of people playing is actually kind of crazy, especially in the lower level zones, because getting past like level 20 is kind of a challenge. Especially without dying, obviously. And it's kind of nuts because there's people even like raiding on the server. I can't imagine like raiding and having a wipe. And it's like, oh well, 40 level 60s, all gone. You know, possibly some of them with, you know, really good gear and stuff like that, are just completely toast. You know, like hundreds of hours, many days of effort and time just gone. So it's actually kind of nuts. What's really nuts is trying to find the mobs that I need, because everybody's farming them right now. And I keep clicking on the mini-map like I'm playing Final Fantasy so I can open up the map, even though I know it's not going to do that. So yeah, I started playing this a couple days back when over the weekend, because I was pretty sick over the weekend, and I just wanted something chill to do that didn't really rely on me talking a whole lot. And I was seeing a bunch of clips from Limit Max on Twitch, and like, he's one of my favorite streamers just because his content is just so wholesome as far as like some of the stuff that he does. Like, he does undercover raid leading, and he's the raid leader for Limit, and basically just the best raid leader in retail WoW in the world, just hands down. Like, nobody even comes close. So he'll hop in like somebody's raid that's trying to you know, maybe they're struggling through you know, a boss or whatever in heroic, and you know, he's killed the boss like, I don't know, hundreds of times. So he'll go through and he'll help them with it, and he won't tell them who he is, right? He'll like hop in, he'll see how they're doing, like he'll assess what's going on and stuff like that, and he'll give them like little hints and stuff like that, and like lead them to the victory, essentially. If they're really struggling, he'll do something like he'll bring in his chat, who is like, you know, they're like all mythic, like high-end raiders. So he'll like get people from his chat to come in and just blast through the boss for him, especially if they're really close and they're about to call it for the night. And he's like, no, 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 we're not going to let you guys go home without a victory, kind of thing. It's really fun to watch that kind of stuff. Because it's really, it's good. It's really nice feel good content. So, and watching that stuff, and then I started watching some of the rest in peace clips from classic hardcore. And like I said, you know, when you die with the classic hardcore mod going, you're dead. You basically just you delete your character and you start anew. So if I bring this up here and verify, so its verification status is 99%. So when you die, that drops to 0, and you're done. The character's over. And it's kind of, they've even thought of like all kinds of ways to like help with like griefing and stuff like that. So if you die through like normal like griefing ways, because there's ways people can like use mind control caps and stuff like that to flag your character so they can kill you in PvP. If something like that happens, then the add-on just automatically just restores your character, so you don't have to delete your character. And then if you die to some lag or something like that, you can appeal it. There's an appeals process for like really shitty deaths and stuff like that. So they've thought of pretty much everything. And I guess they're currently working with this is a rumor. The team that made this add-on is working with Blizzard to create like an actual hardcore mode that's integrated into the game, which will be awesome, because then you won't be able to cheat it. Like if your character dies, it'll probably just auto ghost your character forever, similar to like Diablo hardcore, where when you die, your character is just a ghost and you can never come back, but you have like the character there forever, so you can look at it and be like, this is how far I made it. Because I've seen some people on the server with like full on like just full on raid gear, and they're fully verified, because you can expect other people to see if they're verified as far as their hardcore status goes, because you're only allowed to party with other people that are hardcore. Which really adds to it as well. It kind of helps with griefing, because they're super invested into their characters too. At least they should be. Most people aren't going to grind to 40 and be like, okay, this is the group that I'm going to bomb. You know, this is the one that I take out. Most people aren't. And if they do that, and it's clear that they did that, then through the appeals process, you can report them, and they'll be listed as a griefer, especially if you can get like their account info and stuff like that, like their real ID, stuff like that. When I say real ID, I mean like Blizzard real ID, not their like driver's license or something. This is ridiculous. There's so many people killing these gnolls. I wish like the spawns just need to be faster. Probably just want to hang out here and... Oh, that's why they're AoEing him down. That's going to be dangerous, because they're all spawning at once. Somebody could just walk up after they finish theirs and not know, and just get mobbed. I watched one of the rest in peace clips where Sea-Doo, he's like the best shaman in the world for retail, and he was just running along through the Barrens, and he's level 16, and 5 level 20 mobs just spawn right next to him, and he just dies. You think hardcore is an awesome addition? Yeah. And it is somewhat overdue, to be honest. Yeah. Blizzard decides to implement hardcore into their game. What happens to the other servers when they eventually go do fresh? I don't know. Just continuing spread out player space, potentially. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason why they didn't do like the because they have classic era, which is this. That's what this is. This is a classic era server. They didn't do TBC era servers. They just closed down the TBC servers when they went to Wrath, because they didn't want to have like classic era, TBC era, and then they'd probably end up with Wrath era as well, which is just ridiculous. Because like you said, then you're splitting up the player base all over the place. Oh, zero, shit. I just realized. Yeah. It's funny. I was reading the comment. I didn't look at the username. That's kind of funny. And there's just too many people right now. It's actually ridiculous. Actually ridiculous. So have you thought about going and playing hardcore or no? Are you not super interested in it? Just into retail? Oh yeah. I get that. I still have my warrior. I didn't save my paladin. I didn't think it was worth the money. It's funny, I wasn't gonna save the warrior either. I just decided, like, on a whim. It's like, you know what? I kind of want the character just as like a keepsake, even though I'm never gonna play it again, just so I can like look at it, you know? Man, this damn hunter's stealing all the tags just like usual. Man, do you remember like at the beginning of Classic, like the first, or it was probably the second day that we were in? You would do hardcore squeezing out. Yeah. There's a lot to do in retail. But yeah, do you remember in Classic when we first got started? I think it was probably the second day we were in Nomer, and we were getting ready for Nomer, doing all the quests and stuff, and we stole that mob tag from that other group, and they got super upset. Well, I should say you stole it. You stole it with a fire trap, I think, or something like that. Yeah, the robot. Yeah. What class are you playing in retail? Is it a hunter again? Oh, fuck. Come on. These motherfuckers are following me forever. Yeah. Well, I mean, you haven't really played, like, at all, retail-wise. That's probably, like, a big part of it. Because, yeah, there is a lot to do. But, like, when I log on retail, I feel like the scope of what I end up doing is so narrow. Because I do the same thing every expansion, and I've done the same thing every expansion since, like, since Warlords. It's all been, like, the same formula, so it's like I hit max level. I do, yeah, it's like I'll hit max level. I go through the heroics, I get the heroic gear real quick, then I run through mythics, I get the mythic 0 gear, Then I start doing like the Mythic Plus content, stuff like that. Get some Mythic Plus gear, slowly work my way up, and I'll raid at the same time. The issue with the raiding though is a lot of the Mythic Plus gear is better than the raiding gear at this point. So if you can get like good Mythic Plus groups, you can just blast through that and get better gear. So it's not really like the same as Classic where yeah, but no, that's usually what I end up doing. I skip PvP entirely. It feels basically pointless at this point to do PvP because the PvP gear is not very good in comparison to raiding gear, at least for raiding. There's no crossover like there used to be. Even like Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mop, there was still like some crossover. Not a whole lot, but there was other things to do. But yeah, outside of doing all that stuff, just getting geared up, it's like you get to that point and then it's like, well, I'll do a couple Mythic Pluses per week and raid log. And that's kind of where I end up pretty quickly these days. There's a lot of like old content you can do. But I generally don't go back and do any of it. I just realized I've killed like 5 gnolls. And I've only got 1 paw. This is going to take forever. I think they're 100% going to do fresh vanilla. I think with everybody playing Classic and just the amount of people playing, they don't really have much of a choice. Well, obviously they have a choice. They could just ignore it. And let people keep doing stuff like hardcore. But I think they're going to. There's money in it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I probably wouldn't have come back to Classic even if I didn't see just some of the random like death clips of people getting killed and getting super upset. Like, God, what was... I can't remember his name. See, one of the Asian guys that plays Classic. Plays Paladin all the time. I don't remember his name. Anyways, he was level 59 when he died on his character. And it was because he was tabbed out watching the WoW Classic original cinematic. Somebody linked it to him and he's like, oh yeah, we gotta watch that because it was, it's so good. So he watches the cinematic and he's like halfway through and he tabs back in and his character's just laying there dead. And it was funny because he had like a big like, oh fuck smile on his face. And he pretended he didn't see it and then tapped back to the video and kept watching. It's pretty funny. Yeah, hardcore really does change everything. I think in a good way, though. It changes the way that like you approach the game entirely. Because usually I would just go through and just be reckless and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go do this quest. Like, I know this rogue quest at level 20. It takes me up to Red Ridge, right here. And I know there's a bunch of level 18 like spiders and birds and shit around there to pick those locks. And I'll be sitting there like picking locks for like 15 minutes to get my lock picking up so that I can pick the lock that I need to for the quest. And normally I would just go do it, even though I'm at like level 16, and I'd probably die like 2 or 3 times doing it. But I'm not going anywhere near that until I'm closer to 20. Oh, it was Savix that died at 59. He died on his paladin at 59 while watching the classic WoW cinematic. Because he was tabbed out. Oh, man, yeah. Like, there is no slacking off. You go slow and steady wins the race, literally. Like, I was thinking, could you imagine, like, people in our raid, some people that, even after, like, doing Molten Core for 30 weeks straight, were still not moving with the bomb on Baron? Could you imagine doing hardcore with people like that in the raid? It's like, you never know if they're just going to be, like, not paying attention and wipe the entire 40-man. It's like, well, there used to be 40 level 60s here. They're all gone now. Like, that, just the thought of that is terrifying. But I have seen, like, a paladin with full tier 1. I haven't seen anybody with tier 2 on. It does make me kind of question, like, the difficulty level of going from Molten Core into Blackwing Lair, because you'd want to have people totally decked out in tier 1, like full tier 1 best in slot going in there, because it would be so easy to wipe on that second boss in Blackwing Lair. I'm forgetting the name of. Oh, am I gonna get out? Ah, I snuck out with it. But yeah, it would be like just easy, just incredibly easy to get wiped on that second boss in Blackwing Lair. They still have PTRs for vanilla? Yeah, you know what? I could imagine a guild doing that too. I hadn't thought about that. Like a really hardcore guild. They'd probably set up their own private server. I don't think they have PTRs right now. But you could set up your own private server. Like clone retail WoW and set up your own private server with it. And have everybody hook up with their current gear. And just smash the private server over and over again and get it perfect. Kill the boss like 100 times or something. But that second boss would be terrifying. Or even shoot, what's the boss where you have to like tank it weirdly around the corner that gives you the fire stacks? Is it Flame Gore? All of tier 2 is terrifying. But yeah, there's that one that we wiped on like every week. You know, we would struggle with it a little bit. Even like super decked out gear or guilds in tier 2 would die to that boss, Flame Gore, I think it is. Every once in a while. It almost makes me like, and this may sound weird to say, but it almost makes me think that it'd be kind of nice for them to like nerf it a little bit. Because thinking about that is like you're going to be replacing people left and right. Because you'll have, like, even if you make it through, like, it'd be hard to make it through perfect runs every single week. Like, even with full tier 1 best in slot. Like, Molten Core is one thing, but Blackwing Lair, I mean, it's not like hard content. But if you're trying to not die, ever, Blackwing Lair is pretty scary. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about it now. Like, basically everything after Molten Core is just really, really terrifying. And keeping 40 people alive, geared, that's nearly impossible. Because I guess, like, you could get to the point where doing hardcore level 1 to 60 is really easy, and you could do it just fine. But then, still everything after Molten Core is just terrifying. It's kind of funny to say, to be honest. Like, thinking about it, it's like, man, that's rough. Getting 40 people together, getting them all geared. You know, maybe you make it through, like, let's say you were in AQ and you're doing AQ 40. It's like you're gonna lose probably at least 2 or 3 people a week to trash mobs. Not even the bosses, but to trash mobs. Like, minimum 2 or 3 people are gonna die per week. Because most guilds, like, regular 2019 Classic, like, they weren't able to clear that without dying. Yep. Yeah, everything's super, like, magnified. Mana management, yeah. But what are those mobs in AQ that when we were pulling them, they would sting somebody and it's like an instant kill? And we would lose, like, maybe 10 people a week doing trash. And there was, like, it was very difficult to avoid. I can't remember what they were. I just remember it happening. Like, the bosses in AQ40 aren't that scary. But I could see that happening and just destroying people. It's like, well, it was nice while it lasted. My full tier 2 warrior, best in slot, it's over. I'll see you guys in 6 more months when I've got gear again. Oh, the nature resist boss? Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that. Viscidus. That guy. Then there's the queen that drops threat and just randomly runs around and one-shots people. The one that's like her, and she has the 4 people surrounding her. She just, like, she'll drop threat, and she'll run into the group and just do a huge AoE. And you have to get out, like, right now, or you're just gonna insta-die. Sometimes you just get one shot, there's no chance to move. They'd have to redo all the bosses to make sure that there was no one-shot mechanics like that. They'd have to be really careful of one-shot mechanics. I don't think so. Rating tier 2? No. I've seen people doing Molten Core. But that's it. I haven't seen anybody past Molten Core. Like I said, the most geared person I've seen on the server is a paladin that was like full, like near Abyss, tier 1. I didn't mean to push that button. But yeah, I also haven't been on the server. It was funny, I logged on my warrior and instantly started getting people like inspecting me, like they're checking to see if I was hardcore or not. It was kind of funny. Obviously it's not hardcore. But you know, like decked in full AQ gear, everybody's like, wait, what? Click. They like run by and they stop and inspect immediately. So I think, how do I look? Maybe, is it in the inspect tab? I haven't actually tried to check somebody's hardcore status. Ah, there it is. Add-on version, started solo. I guess their status is good? I don't know. I thought it would stay verified on it. I think if I die with the rogue or get it to 60, I'll probably do a warrior next. But I also don't know if, you know what, actually I was thinking about it earlier today. I think I might do a warlock. I feel like a warlock could probably be the best one to, like, get through and gear up and everything, but the DPS in Classic is pretty low. You would want to roll a priest? You want the pressure. You get to literally lord death over people's head. Right? Like you're doing like dead mines and somebody's being a dick to you. It's like, you don't, like, I literally hold your life in my hands. I'll set you back like 30 hours worth of work. Yeah, I was in a bigger guild earlier, but it's funny. A lot of people's like they're playing their main, and they're running a guild at the same time. So when they die, the guild just disbands. There's a level 17 rogue. Oh. You know, that would be kind of fun. Somebody just posted there's a level 17 rogue griefing the escort quest. So I'm going to hop over onto my warrior, who's not hardcore, but is very geared. Give him the big guns, yeah. See if he's still there. I'll blast him into next week. Oh. Let's see. Where is it? I didn't set up my warrior's add-ons. This looks awful. Oh well. Like, it looks really awful.
These great beasts know paths that you can't find on foot. They'll get you there
I wonder.
fast and maybe show
Okay,
you
cool.
something
It
new
did
at the
save
same
that.
time.
It cloned even my spec. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was going to clone my spec or not. Yeah. No, they're, Blizzard's pretty scummy about stuff like that. Blizzard's just scummy in general. Where is this? The fuck? There it is. What the fuck? Come on. Is it this one? That's better. That's not perfect, but it'll work. Yeah. I guess there's a rogue and a warrior griefing it. There's so many people waiting in line. Oh, he made it. I guess the horde's gone. It's kind of disappointing. It's kind of funny. I even sort of like remember my key bindings even though it's been like years since I played this character. All right. But yeah, no, I don't know. I honestly hate giving Blizzard money just because they genuinely hate the player base. It's funny. I was just randomly watching like an interview where they were talking about the Make Love Not Warcraft episode for South Park. And the creators of South Park were talking with some of the like head devs of Blizzard. I forget who it was. The devs, that is. But they made it, like, the South Park devs made a joke, or not devs, but the South Park creators made a joke about, you know, the fat nerds that play WoW. And the devs themselves said, yeah, we like, we fucking hate most of those guys too. And I'm just like, I fucking knew it. Like, they just came out and said it. It's like, they hate the customers. It's like, yeah, we hate our player base. Got it. I saved the video, just in case it, like, gets removed at some point. But, yeah, they literally said they hate the player base of World of Warcraft. The devs of World of Warcraft. Which I don't know. I guess it was kind of shocking to just straight up hear it. And I'm surprised it wasn't, like, a bigger deal. Like, you know, nobody really made a bigger deal of it. But yeah, it's almost like when we were getting harassed by those people. You know, and we reported to Blizzard and everything, and they just told us to deal with it. It's like, okay, you know. And then we reported the same thing to Discord, and they were like, yeah, we'll take care of it. We'll hardware ban them. And we got direct communication from people at Discord. You know, like over the stuff where, like Velo was threatening to call, like, you know, I don't want to drop, like, names too much in case people, like, watch this, but, you know, call the office of one of our members. Yeah, it was Velo. He was threatening to. It was the police office. The police officer that was in our raid team. He was threatening to, like, call them and, like, get him fired and stuff like that, or try to get him fired. And we reported it to Discord, and they're like, yeah, we'll hardware ban him. So they like hardware ban his PC. Yeah, super nice guy. They like hardware ban his PC, and then at least that's what they told us. And Blizzard's like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. Deal with it. It's like, you what now? I don't understand how one company can look at it and be like, yeah, that's fucked up. We're gonna get rid of this guy. And then the other company's like, yeah, we don't care. You know, that kind of stuff just blows my mind. Hey, leave me alone. But yeah, that and then when we transferred over, and the fuck did I get aggro on that? I was chasing somebody else. When we transferred to that other server, and then we were being harassed for like almost a month and a half by the same people. And those people were like clearly getting banned and then coming back and then doing it again. And Blizzard's just like, yeah, we don't really care enough to do anything more. You know, and then you got employees at Blizzard stealing breast milk from the refrigerator and drinking it, so it's literal milk drinkers, right? Bunch of pussies. I think we would have, if we didn't break in TBC. I think we would have gone through Wrath. It was my fault that everything fell apart anyways. I never should have given Pharaoh and Bagels another chance. Shouldn't have given them another chance. Should have gone more casual with the rating, and I think we would have been fine. You know. Like, if we just played chill, we probably would have been fine. I think the combination of, like, trying to go hard and Pharaoh and Bagels being super toxic kind of is what did it. The rogue that warned me. I don't remember his name. I don't remember any of their names, to be honest. I remember there was a rogue and the druid tank.
Well done, adventurer. With valiant adventurers such as yourself fighting alongside the people's militia, Westfall just might return to the prosperous breadbasket it once was. Please accept this in recognition of your tireless efforts.
Oh, you're talking about Ao. I thought you were talking about the other rogue. The one that was in the guild that quit because we weren't going to give him warglaves. It's like, we're 2 weeks into TBC, and he's like, yeah, if you don't promise me warglaves, me and my friends are leaving. That's who I thought you were talking about. Yeah, no, and yeah, AO did warn me. I didn't take his warning seriously. I was like, yeah, but he is my best friend, right? It's like, he wouldn't do that.
See you around.
He wouldn't be a total cunt twice. They're, like, really guarding that guy. They can't do it as a group. You have to do it one at a time. So, I'm gonna log over real quick on my warrior again and just double check. Yeah, no, I know AO said not to let him do that again. He said don't trust him. And I was like, yeah. But I didn't want, I don't know, I wanted to give him a chance. Although there was, like, a massive amount of red flags. That person's flagged for PvP? That crazy motherfucker. That crazy motherfucker. In here, maybe? Nope. Oh, I never checked. My, yeah, title's gone. But yeah, it's kind of funny with Pharaoh and Bagels, because we started that like to raid in retail, and I joined their guild in retail, whatever, and they were like, oh yeah, like you want to be an officer, and I was like, I don't really care, not really. I don't plan on doing officer things, and they made me an officer anyways. Yeah, they definitely play retail now. But yeah, they had me doing officer things, or I told them, it's like, yeah, I'm not really going to do officer things, right? Because I don't really want to be an officer in retail and classic. And it was funny because in Discord there was people posting like all kinds of like memes, and they were, it was like everybody was just posting like funny like political memes and stuff, and it was like all over the place. It wasn't like one way, it wasn't like just hard left or hard right or anything like that as far as politics go. And I posted a meme, just one, and I don't know if you remember like the Obama like red, white, and blue hope poster that was super popular in like 2008. But there was a meme poster made of Joe Biden where he's like drooling, right? And it's like an animated picture, and he's like drooling and like super old and stuff. And it was that red, white, and blue like motif that said hope underneath it, just like it did for Obama. I thought it was hilarious, and I posted it, and it got removed, and I got muted in the Discord for posting it. That was all I did, and I was like, wait, what the fuck? And it got removed by one of their friends. Apparently that wasn't okay to post that. Like, it was funny. It's just a funny meme. Like, it wasn't mean or anything. And I had Pharaoh come to me. He's like, you can't be posting stuff like that. And I was like, what are you talking about? It wasn't even that bad. And he's like, well, what was it? So I sent him what it was, and he's like, wait, are you serious? That's all it was? And I was like, yeah, you guys are fucking idiots. He didn't even see it, but he was like fully on their side about it. It was ridiculous. It's like, yeah, no, like it wasn't bad. It was a massive nothing burger that got blown up into just ridiculous. Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't even offensive. I don't get it. It wasn't, being mean. It didn't have any like hateful slurs or anything like that in it.
Looking to get there quickly.
It's just a funny,
no further.
Funny picture.
Have a good one.
And of course, the retail guild fell apart. But then, like Pharaoh was okay at World of Warcraft as far as like raiding goes and stuff like that. He's not a terrible player. Bagels is also okay, but there's a lot of people in like retail that think that they're great, like they're absolutely amazing. They're like God's gift to World of Warcraft, and the only reason they fail is because everybody else around them is incompetent. When it's like, well, if you're constantly getting in guilds and groups that fail all the time, there's usually like one common denominator between all those groups, and that's you. And they've never, as far as I know, they've never been able to do like any like hardcore like mythic raiding or anything like that. And like it's honestly like those mythic raids and stuff like that, they're not that hard. It just takes practice. And what's where the issue comes in is like when you're a newer player and you're looking for a raid guild and you join, say, like the midway through a tier, and they've got everything on farm, and you've never done the mythic bosses before. Like all you've done is like seen the videos, right? Like you've watched guides and stuff like that. So you jump in and you just get analed by every mechanic because you've never seen the mechanic before. And then they think you're dog shit. They're like, he's not good enough, you know, that kind of thing. So you have to like get in towards the beginning of a tier when they're doing progress. Or find a guild that's got a leadership that's smart enough to know it's like, okay, this person's new. They haven't seen the mechanics before. It's going to take a couple weeks before they get there. You know, a lot of guilds will like trial somebody in World of Warcraft. So it's like you join as a trial and you'll start doing like DPS or whatever. And maybe like you're doing Mythic for the first time with this group and you've never seen these mechanics, you've never seen these bosses, you've just watched the guides. So they expect you to like keep up with everybody else. These are usually like the bad Mythic groups. They'll expect you to like keep up with everybody else when it's like you clearly are not going to because you've not done the boss before, so you don't know where the min-max opportunities on the fight are, whereas the rest of the group does. And you'll probably die to mechanics that everybody else won't. So you need to find a group that's gonna like trial you for multiple weeks and give you a shot, and hopefully that'll be right before progression for the next tier where you can really prove like that you can keep up with everybody else as they're like learning the mechanics and stuff. I forget where I was going with that. I was talking about, I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, that's kind of what you want to do to find like a high-end like raiding group. Yeah, so I was talking about Pharaoh not being able to like keep up on a lot of stuff like that. And I feel like as he's gotten older, he's not kept up with it as far as like skill level goes. Yeah. This flight path takes forever to get to Lochmadon. Like, actually forever. But, I need to actually do something, because that Nalpa quest took like an hour? Yeah, almost an hour. Yeah, I've been live for 57 minutes doing the same quest. So, yeah, it took almost an hour to do that whole quest. That's nuts. Just because there's so many people playing. Yeah. Do slash who's, let's see. See if there's any 60s on. Ah, there you go. There's a lot. It's a full page, so there's more than 50 of them. There's a lot of them. There's people dying like crazy, though. Let me see. Yeah. Let's see here. Not verify. We want... Just gonna click through. Death statistics. There you go. So since I started playing this character, there's been 1,258 deaths. It's kind of cool, like all the stats that it gives you. Average warrior, 19.4 is the average level, or 12.7. 12.7 is the average death level. What's this? 19? Oh, that's the total percentage of people picking that. Hunter's pretty high up there. But it seems like the average death level is like almost the same for everybody. Now I've seen thousands of deaths. Druid make it higher than most, but everybody's dying right before 13. It's kind of fun. Like you see the level, like not talking shit about anybody, but you see people like, it'd be hard. Like you'd have to be like going crazy fast or playing super reckless to die before level 10. And there's a lot of people that die before level 10. Which, it just kind of crazy to see, to be honest. Like, everybody dying like that. Yeah. And, I mean, this is my first character. I'm at level 16. Hopefully I'll get it to 60. I don't know if I will or not, because the the gear and everything's like, it's so hard to keep up on. Because, like, you're just, you have to rely on just yourself to get gear. So, like, I'm in full whites. I can't use the auction house. That's one of the rules, is you can't use the auction house. And you can't trade with other people, so it's like, it's kind of nuts. I do have some good weapons, though. But, oh, I got, like, an incredible warrior weapon. I got a two-handed sword to drop, just random off a mob, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, it was level 14 of the monkey, so it had a shitload of agility on it. That thing would have slapped on a warrior. I can't believe that I got it on a rogue, though. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna stream more. You have a good night, Zero. I want to stream this more just because then if I do die, I can use it in the appeals process. If I die to something ridiculous, obviously, like if it's my own fault, then it's my own fault. But oh, I didn't want to go all this way. Yeah, I'll 100% stream it more. It's much easier to stream than MSQ of Final Fantasy. Because I can just chill out and like no-brain this because I've played it so many times. Whereas MSQ for Final Fantasy, I have to like focus quite a bit because it's so involved with all the reading and stuff. I do need to actually I do need to get back into it. I just haven't been able to. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't been able to, but I didn't want to stream Final Fantasy MSQ while I was sick and my voice was like all raspy and shit. So that's the main reason why I haven't done that yet, or continued on with that. Get a buff real quick. I was able to do some of the Hildebrand shit though recently, which is always ridiculous because Hildebrand is just full of shenanigans. It's kind of funny too because I posted I haven't been posting shorts because it was like doing weird stuff to my YouTube channel as far as like the algorithm goes. Like whenever a short gets a bunch of views, then the rest of my videos don't get views. Like everything just kind of stops. And the Hildebrand short that I posted, it went from 0 to like 1,500 views in about 5 minutes, and then didn't get any views at all for I don't know, like almost a month. And then it got it's just slowly been trickling in views like crazy. And ended up getting almost 10,000 views in like just a couple days. And then because that video was getting views, everything else just kind of froze. The YouTube seeing the YouTube algorithm like work in real time is just ridiculous. So it's almost tempting to take the shorts down, but then YouTube gets upset because it's like, oh well, we gave you all these views and you took the videos down, so we're just not going to give you views now. So yeah, like the views aren't like super important or anything, but still, you know, it's just frustrating to watch the numbers and see the chicanery that goes on. Uh-oh. Saving people. Oh, don't need that. We need the others. I wonder if we'll get the chest before somebody else comes up. Come on, hit him. Chest. This could be big. Somebody just leave an empty one. Oh. Disappointment. This area is so dangerous. Just because how quickly everything's spawning. Alright, let's head back here, go stealth, and I will be back in just a moment. All right. Getting back into it. Shit, nobody's up here. This could be good, it could be bad. Nobody being here means there's no help. Oh! That was a fast spawn. I was not prepared. Just trying to end my life. some of these spawns are just absolutely insane. And I mean, with the only one life aspect to this is like terrifying, because it's like you could be low health and fighting a mob and it's like you just barely finish it and they just instantly spawn again. And some shenanigans like that are just like, well, it's just too bad. You're gonna have to start your character over. What's the difference between typical from a side Iron Man mode? I guess well, I don't know. Like I guess Iron Man mode is like also, by the way, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in about a week. It's good to see you. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of like extra rules, more than just Iron Man mode, because Iron Man is like you get one life, but how you get to 60 really is like up to you for the most part, or how you get to max level is kind of up to you for the most part. I don't know about dungeons and stuff like that. For Iron Man mode, but the way this works is like you can't trade with other people. I know that's Iron Man mode also, but so you can't trade with other people. You can't use the auction house. You can't use the mailbox. You get one life, obviously. All your gear has to come from you know, stuff that you're doing. You can only do dungeons once. So if you do a dungeon multiple times, this add-on, the hardcore add-on tracks your verification. So as long as you stay within the rules, then you stay verified as a hardcore character. So if you do the same dungeon more than once, so if I like did Dead Mines and then I ran it again, the second time I went in, it would create a new dungeon ID, and that second dungeon ID created with this character would then disable my verification, so I would no longer be hardcore. And what else is there? There's a... Yeah, no, it's really cool, and like you can't group up within the open world either. So, like I had to do some of the elite quests like Hogger. I had to kill Hogger like solo. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. Like this add-on is super complex. Like you have the death ticker up here. So whenever somebody on the server dies, it shows up here. Posts their name, class, race, level, and then it keeps track of everything within here with the death statistics. So I've seen 1,286 deaths, and it shows like average level for the class and all this other stuff. It's pretty in depth. It's actually kind of nuts. And there it gives you the dungeon IDs, so you never forget like if you've done the dungeon or not. I haven't done any dungeons yet. It even has like anti-griefing stuff. So there's ways to like finagle somebody into flagging for PvP so you can kill them. And they've accounted for that within the add-on. So if that happens to you, they can detect it and immediately like not count the death as like a hardcore death. And then the person who killed you will be listed as a griefer as well. So it's kind of cool, like all this stuff, the effort that's been put into it. And then I've heard that I don't know if this is fact or not, but I've heard that the team that made this add-on is currently working with the Blizzard devs to create the official like hardcore game mode, because they want to do more than what they did last time, because it was essentially just Iron Man mode and then when you died you would leave your soul behind so people could see that somebody had died there, which is pretty cool. But it was hardcore with no other rules, essentially. Like you could trade, you could do all that stuff. This is much more like strict. And then when you create a character, you can pick achievements that you want also. So when you first open up the add-on, I can't see it now, but when you first open it up, it like has achievements. There it is. Introduction. Yeah, so I can't pick them now, but you can pick from these achievements and like make it harder or easier for yourself based on what achievements you pick. And there's some pretty crazy ones. Like there's a nudist achievement, so it's 1 to 60 with no gear at all, just a weapon. I think you're only allowed to equip a weapon. So there's all kinds of like crazy achievements and stuff. Which is just, it's really fun. It's kind of cool. Like it is pretty funny, yeah. Yeah, so and the only reason why I picked this up is because on Friday I ended up getting sick, and I was like, I don't really want to stream. I sound like shit. I feel like shit. So I didn't do any of the MSQ or stuff, you know, that I had planned. And I was seeing a bunch of like clips on YouTube because I was watching. Even when I'm not playing World of Warcraft, I still watch Limit Max. He's like twitch.tv like Maximum or something like that. He's like the best raid leader in the world as far as like World of Warcraft goes. And he does these things on YouTube where he'll live stream, I should say, this undercover raid leader is what he calls it. And he'll join. Wait, what the where is he going? Okay, I'm just gonna heal up. He'll join in like other groups that are doing like heroic, like whatever the current raid is, and he won't tell them who he is or anything like that, and he'll just like assess where the group is, and he'll slowly like drop hints. It's like, maybe you should do this, and you know, maybe you should do that, and help them like get their kill on like the final boss of like a heroic raid. And it's so like super wholesome to watch this guy that's like one of the best players on the planet drop into, you know, a group like this and just like secretly help them. You know, and if they're like getting really close to like finishing off the boss, but they're like gonna have to call it for the night or something, they're getting ready to call it, he'll get some of the pumpers in there, right? Like he'll pull in people that he knows with like max gear, and he'll be like, yeah, you guys basically have this if you were here for like another 5 pulls, but you're gonna have to go, so we're just gonna blast it for you. So he'll pull in like some like big time DPS and just help them finish off a fight. Yeah, no, like, yeah, content like that is just, it's so good. It's just feel good content. So I was watching that, and then because YouTube, you know, through the algorithm is like, hey, he's watching World of Warcraft content, and everybody's playing hardcore World of Warcraft right now on Classic. So I started seeing death clips, and I was like, oh shit, that's like hardcore is popping off right now. And I've played WoW so much, like I can just no-brain World of Warcraft leveling up and stuff like that, even in Classic. So it's like, okay, you know, I can hop on and am I finished with this quest? I am. Okay. I've been finished with the quest. I don't even know how long. I've just been killing shit, I guess, grinding XP. But yeah, so I started seeing the hardcore content of people, like they're called rip clips, you know, rest in peace. And it's really funny to watch because people like die to some really stupid shit. If and when you install, oh yeah, the official hardcore servers, I think they will, with considering how popular the content is, because there's people everywhere. Like, there's multiple servers that are doing it, and it's kind of crazy. Like, you look at the server list for Classic WoW, and there's like 30 servers. Most of them, like, at least half of them are medium pop, and a couple of them are high pop, and it's like, what the, like, there's no new content coming for this. Like, these servers are just the way they are. Oh, to show on this time through. You might be a little too late. For what? For the hardcore server right now? I don't know if you'd be too late for the hardcore server right now. Yeah, no, there's people like throughout like every level, like people restarting all the time. There's not very many people raiding, like because you hit 60, then you got to get your pre-raid, and you got to not die getting your pre-raid vis.
You accomplished your mission well, person.
Oh.
The king himself would be proud. The reinforcements promised to us never showed, however. Apparently, the Alliance front is a sea of crimson from the blood of our fallen brethren. The news of the losses leaves a bitter taste in one's mouth. But we must not let their deaths go for naught. We must rally in these grim times and bring glory back to the Alliance. Speak with Mountaineer Wallbang for reassignment. You're needed now more than ever.
I forgot I had that add-on installed. So there's somebody who made an add-on with AI and voice acted the entire game, and it's actually like really well done. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised with it. I might just mute it because these quests aren't like the story, I guess, for these quests isn't like the super important lore wise. You saw the video on that earlier. Yeah, no, it's so cool. It's kind of crazy that they were able to do that. Something like that could easily be done for. Actually, it wouldn't be as easily done for Final Fantasy, because these are done with just like random voice samplings. I guess they could do something similar like that with Final Fantasy. It just wouldn't be as like immersive. It would be interesting to see though, because you could do everything with it. There's a lot more dialogue in Final Fantasy though.
The Mountaineers tell.
There we go. I'll mute it for now when they talk. But level 15. Okay. 11 labs AI. Need materials to feed it to learn from. Yeah. I don't know which AI they used for this, but they had to have fed it like voice samples because it's so accurate. It is funny because every once in a while it'll like mess up. Like I had it say ... instead of pausing the other day, which was really funny. But yeah, like I don't think you've missed the boat on hardcore mode at all, because people are constantly like dying and starting over. Yeah, it read out ... But yeah, no, I don't think you've missed the boat on it. If you wanted to start, you could, because like I said, there's people starting like new characters constantly, and there's more people starting all the time. And that's why the server is just totally packed. Like completely and utterly packed with other players. Because this is like this is almost as bad as like first week of like classic launch bad as far as like numbers on the server go. And that was pretty bad. Like you were basically like it's not quite that bad because it was impossible to quest for like the first almost 2 weeks. If you were like with the pack of people, you were waiting in line for every single mob. I was lucky because my friends and we had put a guild together beforehand. Changing games for a minute. Yeah, I'm Alliance. Alliance on the Bloodsail Buccaneers realm, I believe. Where do I see that? There's a way to see it. Where was that? It was in chat, wasn't it? I know I saw it. I guess not. It's the official, unofficial hardcore realm. I'll log out here real quick. This is kind of dangerous, but we'll do it. Am I gonna get blasted? I think I might be LOS. Okay. I'll double check for you so you can see. Yeah, Blood Cell Buccaneers RP. Because obviously PvP makes hardcore impossible. Like, you gotta be out of your mind to do that. This character here is not hardcore. This is my character from Classic. So. Yeah, but yeah, no, that'd be really cool if you, like, hopped on and joined the same server. Oh. Because it's pretty chill. Part of the reason why I'm doing it is just because, like today, like I had a really long day at work, and I'm really tired, and I don't really want to just sit here and focus on, reading and, you know, doing harder, like, content in Final Fantasy. Because there's a lot of stuff I can do in Final Fantasy, like PvP, obviously. There's, I haven't done any of the extremes yet. I need to do those. But everything within Final Fantasy requires, like, my mental focus. You'll be on in a week or so? Alright. There's also there's group hardcore as well. So you can level with a group that way. Although I don't think, I think the issue is you can't play by yourself. You have to, like, wait for everybody else. Yeah, I chose a busy class. Yeah, well, I kind of like it that way myself. Like, I really like Monk. Reaper's pretty fun. I've been playing a lot of Reaper. I don't think I'd switch to Reaper, like, forever. Just because, Monk, it reminds me a lot of, Warrior from, Mist of Pandaria for World of Warcraft. You know, minus the rage part, because monks don't have rage. Reaper's confusing in PvE. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't find it confusing at all. Like, it was kind of cool, like the abilities, they felt intuitive, at least to me, as far as, like, how the abilities work together. It's like you push these three abilities and they chain into each other. Then you have your cooldown that gives you more the Reaper energy or whatever it's called. Is there only one in here? Okay. Enshrouded. Yeah. But yeah, like, and then if you set it up right, you can do 3 of your, like, avatar summons with the special ability in a row. And then combine that with your 1 minute cooldown, is it? I think it's 1 minute with Reaper. And they, like, line up perfectly if you do it that way. Yeah, I really do like Monk, though, because the way it does play a lot like Mist of Pandaria Warrior. Like, and Mist's Warrior was nuts. Like, I was, I don't remember the exact number of hotkeys I had, but I know it was more than 50 for my Warrior in MoP, and it was like macros of combinations of different abilities that I would use in, certain situations and stuff like that. It wasn't like actually 50 abilities. But it was like peak of the button bloat for WoW. Like when every class had the most buttons like it ever did was in MoP. And I had so much fun because the button, like the rotation for Warrior then was like 7 buttons, I think. Uh-oh. I don't have Vanish yet. Yeah, it was really bad with, what's it called? Shaman had it the worst, because they had, like, 20 totems that they could potentially use. Which is just crazy. So they had, like, 20 totems they could use. Oh, damn it. I didn't kick it. Oh, there we go. I finally hit him. But yeah, they had like 20 totems that they could use, plus their rotation, which was like 9 buttons, and they had, like, there was some shamans, like the really high-end ones, that had like close to 100 like keybinds. It'd be ridiculous. But yeah, the button rotation for warrior back then, it was about 7 buttons, I think, which wasn't too bad. But then you had all your cooldowns on top of that, which is kind of where it started adding up, because there was like 4 or 5 different cooldowns that you would use. So, and they would all line up differently, obviously. It was a lot of fun, and that MOP was actually the last time that I got rank 1 parses in WoW. I hadn't really like been trying after that, like, because Warlords of Draenor, they changed warriors so much that I just didn't want to play the game anymore. Because I felt like they just straight up and removed my class from the game because of the changes that they made to it. Which is honestly why I play Classic now instead of Retail. Like, I won't play Retail. But yeah, like, I don't know if you ever want to look up the fight or anything, but I might still have the video of it somewhere. Not on this channel, because I've had other YouTube channels. I've had one other YouTube channel, I should say. But yeah, I had a rank 1 parse on Malkorok in Siege of Orgrimmar. There you go. And that was the last time I got a really like super high parse. But yeah, that was the last time I really try-harded for it, because after MOP in Warlords of Draenor, they took warriors, and the way that it used to work is like your auto attacks would generate rage. When you took damage, it would generate rage, and then the harder you hit, the more rage you would get. So if you had like really good weapons towards the end of an expansion, your DPS would be like through the roof. Nobody could come anywhere, nobody would touch you. And it was like that in every expansion all the way up to Cataclysm. And then they normalized rage so that high-end weapons wouldn't do that anymore, so it was always the same. But all that did was change the way that warriors geared, so we no longer geared for like max, like high-hitting damage. We just geared for haste, so you would get more hits in to generate rage. But in Warlords of Draenor, they got rid of that entirely, and they made it so that when you did certain abilities, it would give you rage, so that they could control the DPS better of warriors. Because warriors, instead of scaling in a linear, in a linear line on a graph, they would scale exponentially. So like the more gear you got, the more your DPS went up, and when you reached a certain point, it just went like, it was like a straight line almost as far as your damage going up. Yeah, more actions per minute, more damage. But yeah, then Warlords, they broke that, and they just changed the way that rage worked, so that you didn't you could always predict what damage or what kind of rage you would get. So it's like you would do Mortal Strike and it would give you 20 rage. You'd do Slam and it would give you 10 rage. And you would just go through this rotation and you would build your rage up, and then you pushed a button that would then you used your, I think it was Raging Blow is what it was called. So you built your rage up, then you used Raging Blow, and it would dump your rage, and it was your big hitting ability. And it was so predictable at that point. like I said, like the class I had been playing for like 12 years was just removed from the game in a patch. And I was just so depressed with that. I just didn't play, and you know, it wasn't the same after that. Which is why I was so excited for Classic when Classic first came out in 2019. I was so hyped because I got to play the class that I hadn't been able to play again. You know, it was like it was given back to me finally. So, I finally got to have fun with the class that I play. Like, if they were to add Warrior back to like retail WoW, I'd probably play retail WoW. Even though I hate Blizzard, I'd still probably play it. You kind of felt that way when they removed stances from tanks in Final Fantasy? They removed stances? Oh, they changed them. Yeah, I remember like people would say that they still have like a tank stance, right? Or do they not? Only tank stance now. Gotcha. Yeah. Warriors have stances in World of Warcraft. I don't know. How much do you know about WoW? Like, have you played it all? Level to rogue. Gotcha. Yeah, I only have 2 of those. Can I sneak by? Oh, he pulled and he didn't know he was gonna get 3. I gotta get out of here quick. Okay, I think we probably saved him. Yeah. So, warriors in World of Warcraft, at least classic warriors, I should say, use stances a lot. Like, even in retail, they still have stances, but they're, like, almost meaningless. Outside of, like, some niche reasons. Like, there's really no, like, reason. Like, you pick a spec, and then you play, like, a stance for that spec. Let's see here. But warriors in Classic, for example, like, you can only use charge while you're in battle stance and out of combat. So you use it to like enter combat, and then once you're in combat, then you switch to berserker stance for your DPS, and that's where you would use most of your abilities while you're Fury spec. But you'll still want to go back to battle stance to do certain abilities while in combat. But it will punish you a little bit by reducing the rage that you have, so you want to make sure that you don't have like over a certain level of rage when you switch stances. And then like there's also defensive stance, which is what tanks use almost exclusively, and you'll still use that as like a regular warrior as well. So it's like if you're a DPS warrior, you'll still use defensive stance to like pop shield wall. Oh, he sapped him. I'm gonna steal it. So like to use shield wall, which is like your main defensive ability, you have to have a shield on and be in defensive stance. So you'll want to jump into defensive stance, put your shield on, and then pop shield wall, which will reduce your damage taken by like a massive amount. It's like a 30-minute cooldown. And the like shield wall with warrior is just completely broken as far as like a defensive cooldown goes. Like, I don't... There's probably not even anything in Final Fantasy that's as strong as Shield Wall for a defensive cooldown. Because you'll pop that and then you just won't die. There's also Recklessness, which you would use in Berserker Stance, which gives you, like, a huge amount of crit chance. I think it might just make every single attack a crit. So you'll just blow things up, DPS-wise. Paladin's Limit Break is the thing that... Yeah, it probably is, because Limit Breaks are insane. Paladin's Limit Break protects the whole group, though. The Shield Wall won't. It'll just protect you. So, actually, the Paladin Limit Break's probably stronger than the Warrior Shield Wall, then. But yeah, if you like stances, Warrior might be a good way to go. They are challenging to level without dying, though. I'll tell you that. Because especially low level, if you can't get good gear, like, you are just like the most underpowered person ever, because you just get no rage and you can't do anything. You'll likely go Warlock or Rogue. Yeah. Warlock's really fun. I was actually thinking, like, if I die on this character, and I have to restart, Warlock might be my next one. Because I feel like I could get max level with a Warlock 100% without dying. Like, I could do that easily, and get into raiding and all that stuff, and be able to... Oh. Yeah, I feel like I'd be able to get into raiding no problem with a Warlock and make it through most of the tier 1 content without dying. Warlocks, you're thinking of Blink. You're thinking of, like, the flash teleport forwards. That's a mage. Yeah, mages are really, really strong. That's a good choice too. Especially for leveling solo. Warlocks are the ones that they summon demons. A lot of their damage comes from damage over time abilities. No, Warlocks can summon people. Which can be annoying. Because if you're in a raid, they're going to ask you to summon everybody. I know in retail, Warlocks have an ability where you can, like, drop, like, a well on the ground. Oh, I missed the kick. You drop, like, this well on the ground, and then you can run away from it, and then push a button. You, like, push the well button again, and it teleports you back to the wherever you dropped that marker. There's that in retail. But they don't get, like, the flash forward. Priest is a really strong caster, too. You just run into the issue where then you're going to be a healer. And in hardcore, like, I can only imagine people, like, getting real upset with the healer. If, like, you let him die or something like that. It's like, if you lag in a dungeon and you're the healer, like, say you disconnect, everybody dies. Like, mid-boss pull or something. I wouldn't be able to handle that stress. Yeah. See, like Classic WoW is probably the only, like, MMO that I'd really enjoy healing in. And that's because when you heal in WoW, you're just a healer. Yeah. Yeah. No, if you pick a priest in WoW, Classic WoW specifically, you're playing a healer. You don't get to DPS. Because DPS equals less healing, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's part of the reason why I like Is this person gonna die? I think they DC'd. Just spinning. Saved him. There we go. I patted him on the head. I did. I saved him. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, healing. I really enjoy healing in like classic WoW up through like Cataclysm even. Especially on a paladin, because you don't have to do anything else. Nobody wants you to do anything else. You're useless doing anything else because you don't. You literally can't do damage. It's pointless to even try. Like, if you're like a holy paladin, you might be able to do. I'll just throw a random number out there. Like, you'll maybe do 80 DPS, and then there'll be like a warrior, a rogue, or a mage doing 1,000. Like, the DPS that you add to the group is so minuscule that it's pointless. A priest, however, can do a little bit more. They'll be able to do a little bit more damage, but your damaging abilities use like 10 times the mana. So you'll go like instantly, and the whole group will probably end up dying. So you need to save everything for healing. Plus, healing in classic WoW is probably the most difficult to manage. Oh, I don't have energy. Fucker. It's probably the most difficult like version of WoW to manage your mana as a healer, because you have multiple ranks of the same spell. They'll do different amounts of healing, and they use different amounts of mana. So it's like paladin or priest with their like flash of light or holy light. You'll have like ranks 1 through 9, and you'll have like rank 3, 5, and then maybe 7 and 8 on your bars, and you'll use all of those for different situations, because you want to. One of theirs just healed my guy. Not fun. Unbelievable. But yeah, so you'll have like multiple ranks of the same spell, and each one of them costs different amounts of mana, and they heal different amounts. So you'll want to, if somebody's like a little bit low on their HP, but you want to get them topped up because there's like a big damaging ability coming through, you won't want to spend, a huge amount of mana casting a big heal on them. So you'll drop like the low rank heal on them that doesn't cost much mana, but will top them up on HP, so you can conserve your mana. And then when there's like somebody at low health, that's when you use the big heal that costs way more on mana, but so you'll go a lot faster, but you can't use it over and over again. It's way more like, I guess, involved than most other games as far as healing goes. I don't like it as much, which is why I don't like heal in classic World of Warcraft. They changed that in the Burning Crusade, and yeah, it's only ever like that in vanilla classic. So, oh, really? Yeah. So, healing in classic WoW has like a lot of complexity to it that's just, to me, not fun, which is why I don't do it. But I do like the aspect of just healing and then not doing damage. Because it makes me feel like I'm playing like a totally different role in the group, rather than just like in Final Fantasy, where it feels like you're just playing a support. which I guess is kind of more or less what they were going for. I just like the full-on healer. I like the support role too, but... Oh, here we go. Finally. The last one. Now we just gotta kick his ass and get out of here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Run. I'm on Classic Era right now. Not Classic Wrath of the Lich King. Or I know there's like 3 of them. It's Classic Era is what I'm on. I think that's what it's called. If you're looking at like the downloader. Yeah, and it's kind of nice. Like you don't need to own like the whole version of the like retail or whatever to play. You just need to pay for a subscription and you can play. You don't need to buy anything else. Which honestly would be really nice if like retail WoW is like that at this point. Awesome. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like like I said, I'm really surprised like how many people are actually playing. And the death clips are hilarious. Like the best one was Savix. If you look up Savix on like Savix level 59 death on YouTube, he died at level 59 on his paladin, and it was in the worst way possible. Somebody linked him the classic WoW like launch trailer, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta watch this, boys," and he like pulls it up and tabs out, and he's watching it, and halfway through the trailer he tabs back in and he's like, "Oh, his character's dead," and he tabs back out and keeps watching, pretends like he didn't see it, because his character at level 59 was just yoinked, which was just, it was absolutely hilarious to see. A lot of the death clips coming out of hardcore just they're just hilarious. It was funny too because he didn't even get angry about it. He was just like, "Oh fuck." Like it was one of those where he went straight past angry and was just laughing. Yeah, no, it was really funny to see. And then I saw, I think it was Sea-Doo. He died earlier today. He was running through the Barrens, and he was level 16, just like I am now. And 5 level 20 centaurs spawned right next to him, because they had been like cleared out, and he just ran through this area at a really bad time. Oh, somebody died. F's in chat. When somebody dies and you're in a guild, and they have the add-on going, it like pops up and shows that they died.
I knew the second I laid eyes on you, adventurer.
There we go. Skip the text. Yeah, rip. But yeah, Sea-Doo, he had 5 level 20 centaurs spawn next to him, and he just...
Adventurer,
he instantly died. And he's like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, that was the cheapest death. Like, he was so upset over a level 16 death. I guess just because he got cheated out of it was the main reason he was so upset about it. But Savix's level 59 death was funny. Just because he didn't get super upset about it. But yeah. Well, I got a level, so we got to put a point in now. Yeah. It is kind of funny to see, finally... I haven't played Dragonflight. I'm not going to play Dragonflight on World of Warcraft, but I saw that they changed the talent trees, finally. They realized that giving people a talent tree with like 6 things to pick from was boring. It only took them 10 years to figure that out. But they finally figured out that that's boring. And they went back to talent trees like this, or something very, very close to this. To the old school, like, talent trees. Because they're way more interesting. as far as like what you pick to put points in, because it's like if you look at my like build here, like this isn't even a good build so far as like what I'm doing, but I'm going for like a little bit more survivability. So I picked up dodge, a dodge chance here, which helps. Not a whole lot, but you know, every little bit helps. That's 3% just off the top. The hit rating here is like required for a rogue. And then I'm gonna grab deflection also, which is basically pointless. Especially in like PvE, you would never grab deflection, but I think for leveling, getting 5% parry is gonna be good, and having riposte is gonna be good as well for leveling. So you have higher parry chance, and then you can use this ability to get an extra smack in there, and it only costs 10 energy, which is pretty low, considering like Sinister Strike cost 40. So, yeah, I'm going for like as much survivability as I can, just right off the bat. And obviously like hit rating as soon as possible, because missing just feels so bad. I hate it so much. If they were to remove one stat from Classic WoW, I'd be okay with them removing hit rating.
Two months just to hear from Ironforge that we'll be spared a handful of soldiers for our own defense, and another 2 months until they arrive. Bad enough that our town goes unprotected, but the excavation and the dam are open to attacks as well. I've no choice then, it seems. I'll need hired arms. How about you? You seem a likely sort, adventurer. A group of ogres has set up camp on the northeast of the lake. Perhaps you could recruit some others and help remove the threat to our town.
No, I can't. That voice acting was really good for AI. Where's the quest? Oh, is that the one on the sign outside? I bet it is. It is. Yeah, I can't pick that up either. That's an elite quest. I could pick it up, but I'm not going to, because the risk is just too high. There's no way. I'm not chancing it. It's kind of interesting too, because the hardcore, like Classic WoW is already kind of slow as far as like pacing goes.
Words, you won't find faster griffins anywhere in the Eastern Kingdoms than the ones right here in Thelsamar.
I'm just gonna hearth and then run from there. It'll be faster. But yeah, it's kind of funny because Classic WoW is already kind of slow as far as like pacing and leveling. If you go really fast, like you can do it in like 4 or 5 days played, from 1 to 60. And that's if you're just blasting and you're like giving your character a bunch of gear and stuff like that to twink them out as you're leveling. But because this is you're all like super self-reliant, and the leveling in Classic WoW is like way harder than leveling in retail. Like leveling in I don't know. It's like, how do I describe it? Like the leveling in retail is like as difficult as doing like duty finder raids in Final Fantasy, when you get like some of the Stormblood raids and stuff like that. You get in there and it's just like dead instantly. You're in there for like 2 minutes. That's like classic. That's like retail WoW leveling, and then classic is like ultimate. Like it's like trying to do top without dying. That is. It's not as technical, obviously, but like difficulty, like challenge wise. It's just like you have to like sit down and like, okay, well I have this quest, I can go do that here. Like I can probably do People's Militia, although Defias Pillagers are really dangerous, so I got to be really careful around those. You know, like you have to sit down and like really think about like what you're gonna do next to try and keep your level up, so that you can continue on. Yeah, no, it's I really like it too, but that's partly just because I really like classic, and then yeah, like it's a lot of fun to, you know, sit down and just kind of chill out, because you know, I have played it a lot. I can kind of shut my brain off a little bit but at the same time, with the hardcore, I have to sit down and like really think about what I'm doing at the same time. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna go do this quest, but like I said, the pillagers, those are really dangerous. I know for a fact, Blizzard put out like a list of the most deadly mobs in Classic WoW like forever ago, like the original vanilla. After that, they put out like the mobs that killed the most people, and outside of like the mobs that were in Arathi or Alterac Valley, the mobs that killed the most people, one of them was the Defias Pillagers. They're like one of the top 10 most deadly mobs in the entire game as far as like the number of players that they ended. And it's like, because if you're unlucky, they'll two-shot you, because they shoot these big ass fireballs, and they hurt. So, which is part of the reason why I put off doing that specific quest for as long as I have, instead of doing it like a while ago. When I was level 14, I could have gone over there and tried to do it. I waited, and now I'm level 17. Luckily, I think I can go over there and do it. I'll be able to blast those pillagers down and be safe. So I'm like reordering in my mind as I'm going through this questing, and I'm going a lot slower than I normally would, and reordering like the quests and stuff the way that from the way I would normally do them. Although with all the people out here in Westfall, like for example, like there's this quest here, it's marked on the map. You can see like this is where the what's it called? There's a guy with a letter that he paths back and forth here. It's not this quest specifically. Oh wait, yes it is, a mysterious messenger, or mysterious message. He paths along that road, and there's like I don't know, like 100 people in this zone doing quests. A lot of them probably have that quest specifically, and you just have to kind of wait at his spawn point and hope that you're the one that gets him. Or wait in line, because there's literally a line over there, because he spawns right here at the beginning of the line, and he walks up this way, and then he despawns over here. And I'm 99% sure when I go over here, there'll be a line of like 6 people or more, people waiting for the spawn, which is incredibly boring, to sit there in a line and wait for a spawn. But it's kind of cool that people do that at the same time, instead of fighting constantly over mobs and stuff like that. I did have somebody earlier, when I first started this character, I went into an area, and there's a boss mob, or like a higher level mob that you have to kill, just like the messenger, and nobody was there. So I'm sitting there waiting for the mob to spawn, and then 2 people come running up, and one person says, "The line starts behind me," and gets in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, it starts behind you, does it?" That's how this is gonna be, because I had been there for like 8 minutes waiting for this spawn, and me playing Classic a lot and playing Warsong Gulch over and over while I was ranking, I've got my mouse wheel set up to target things. Like I'm scrolling my mouse wheel now, but it's not zooming in and out. I have to use page up and page down to do that. So my mouse wheel is set up to target, so I can just roll over things and it just targets as I'm like rolling the mouse wheel. So nobody's going to target it faster than me, because I was just rolling it over where the thing spawned and spamming Sinister Strike. So I was just like doing that really fast. I could have made a macro, but I was doing that really fast, and I targeted it and hit it before the mob even became visible. And the person got so upset. It's like, "You should have waited in line," and they were giving me shit about it. It was really funny. It's like, I'm not waiting in line. Yeah, the reason why you set up mouse wheel for Warsong Gulch, by the way, Warsong Gulch is to capture the flag. And if you kill the flag carrier, or your flag carrier dies, somebody needs to pick the flag up quick. And the fastest way to do it, faster than even a macro, is mouse wheel. Yeah, so this is where the messenger spawns. And it looks like the line has broken down. Somebody must have cut, and everybody else is like, fuck it. So, because somebody's just spamming AoE. This is like a really bad way to tag the mob. Because because most of the time your damage on the AoE is not going to tick. Yeah, mouse wheel actions is really good. But yeah, most of the time if you do an AoE like that, your damage is not going to tick at the proper time to tag the mob right away. Oh, wow. Somebody insta-killed it. Is somebody griefing it? Somebody's got to be griefing it. Yeah. There's lots of level 20s here. No, maybe they all just hit it at once, and they're just hoping to get the tag, so they're like sitting here like spamming tab target and hoping they get the tag. I'm not going to mess with that because it's boring. I don't want to do that now. Hopefully I'm going to get some of the pillagers here. I might go over here instead because there's too many people here. Plus I think that area over there, right over here, is safer. I'm really looking forward to when I get Vanish. Because then as soon as I get in trouble on this rogue, I can just poof and run away. As long as I keep the Vanishing Powder on me and I stay prepared. Because then if I do die, it's really because I fucked up big time. Oh, that reminds me. Paladins can do this thing where they can cast Bubble and use a Hearthstone, and they can get out of a dangerous situation because their Hearthstone is Hearthstone's usable in combat, and when they use Bubble, nobody can hit them. They're immune to all damage. So they'll bubble themselves, and then they'll use their Hearthstone, and they'll Hearth out and save themselves. But with this add-on, it's set up so that if a Paladin uses Bubble Hearth, it de-verifies them. So it removes their hardcore status if they use Bubble Hearth, which is pretty funny, right? So it would remove their verification, so they'd no longer be a hardcore character. They'd have to start all over just for using Bubble Hearth. So they can't like grief people, and they can't run into a dungeon and be like the tank and pull like 20 mobs and then Bubble Hearth out, because that will ruin their hardcore status. So if they try to wipe a group that way, they're done. Which is pretty cool. It's another thing that the developers of the add-ons thought of that is just like pretty impressive. Just the amount of time and effort that went into it is kind of crazy. I am looking forward to getting a little bit higher level and getting past all these people, though, because the majority of people die well before 20. Like way before. Like I showed the statistics earlier, but if I go back again, like the average person, Warlock, like that's kind of weird that Warlock would be dying at level 10 to me. Like Warlock's pretty hard to die as, but Druid's getting the highest at 14. Everybody's dying like 12 to 13. Yeah. It would be pretty insane troll potential, yeah, if they could do stuff like that. But the add-on removes their hardcore status, which is really, so if they can't troll people and then stay hardcore. And then once their hardcore status is gone, then people can't group up with them. Oh, the mage tried to take all of them. I got one. Yeah. It really is kind of blowing my mind, like, how many people there are out here. Just how difficult it is to do some of these quests, because normally, like, I'd be... I don't know, like, I would have done, like, 2 or 3 times the amount of quests that I've done already today. Which, I mean, it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, when I wasn't streaming it, I was just sitting here, like, chilling out, watching the, like, montages of people, like, dying in hardcore. Because it's pretty crazy to see people like go into a dungeon and they wipe, like the whole group's done. I haven't seen anybody in a raid wipe yet. That would be nutty. To see like a whole 40-man, like 40 level 60s. You know, they've put all this time into going through all the dungeons. They've got all of their pre-raid bis. They're ready to go, and they wipe in a raid at level 60 after like forever. That would be crazy. I haven't seen that happen. I'm sure it has happened, but I haven't seen it happen. I can only imagine the rage from some people. Somebody did that, you know, wiped a group. Maybe they didn't get an item they wanted, so they're like, I'm gonna wipe the group. I'm gonna do it. So they wait till they get to Baron. There's a boss in Molten Core called Baron, and everybody stacks up in one place, and he puts a bomb on one person, and that one person has to run the bomb out of the group, and it, you know, blows up, and it won't kill you if it hits just you. If it hits other people, it instantly kills them all. So you could wipe a whole 40-man if you were upset and you ended up getting the bomb. So I've seen people do it in Classic where they got upset, but it wasn't hardcore. I haven't seen anybody intentionally wipe something like that. But looking at some of the content also, like, or thinking about it, I was talking with a friend earlier, talking about the potential for like tier 2 content. So it's like, let's say you're in a guild and you've rated, you know, tier 1 Molten Core. You're like in full Molten Core, best in slot. There's no reason for you to ever run Molten Core again. Well, you have to go to Blackwing Lair then. And Blackwing Lair is terrifying, because there's bosses in there that are almost guaranteed to kill at least a couple players every single time you pull them. Like, it's possible to do a clean clear, but it's not easy. Like, it's really, really not easy to do a clean clear. I think in my guild, when we were playing through Classic in 2019, during the re-release of Classic WoW, we might have got... Ooh. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Come on. There we go. We got this. Easy. Easy. But yeah, like in Blackwing Lair, there's almost no chance you're getting through there without losing a couple players each run. Like the second boss in there is really, really high chance to wipe the whole group. Like, even like if you know how to do the fight 100%, you've done it 100 times, there's a chance, a pretty good chance, like I'd say 10%, that it's gonna wipe the group. Doesn't matter how many times you've done it, especially if you're just in Molten Core like best in slot, and you're not like in full tier 2 best in slot, which would be really difficult to do. Yeah, like there's a really, really good chance you're just gonna get blasted on that second boss and wipe and lose your character. I was just thinking about that earlier. Like, there's almost no way. And then in oh, here's one of those really dangerous mobs I was talking about, that their fireball hits really hard. We got him though. Yeah, that fireball hits hard. Yeah, but there's like some mobs, some just trash mobs in AQ40. AQ40 is like a bug dungeon. For anybody who doesn't know, like, it's basically just a bunch of you know, poisonous bugs and stuff like that throughout the whole dungeon. And there's some mobs in there that will sting you, and if you get stung by them, it's just a one shot. You're just gonna instantly die. And every single week, didn't matter what we did, there was at least 4 people every raid that were dead to those mobs in that section of AQ40. So like for hardcore, like I don't even know if it's possible to get past AQ40. If you were really, really lucky and you were like crazy skilled, like mythic raider level, or for Final Fantasy like ultimate raider level status, and you were like on point 100% of the time, you could probably get through Blackwing Lair unscathed. Probably. But you're not raiding with like 8 people for ultimate in Final Fantasy. You have to find 40 people that are like that. So I don't know. I don't think I can see anybody doing past Molten Core. So I was talking with my friend. It's like they might, if they wanted people to do, or be able to do hardcore like all the way through and finish, Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, AQ40, Naxxramas. Like if you wanted people to be able to do that content and potentially like get through it, you'd have to remove all the one-shot mechanics from the raids, because there's a lot of one-shot mechanics that just randomly like hit people and will kill them. Which is, it's kind of funny, like, because then you'd be removing like half the mechanics in some of the further, like, more difficult raids. Which I know, like, people would be crazy upset about, because the WoW community, and specifically the classic WoW community, is like freely protective, I guess is a good way to put it. They're really protective of the game, and they don't trust Blizzard. I'm one of those people that doesn't trust Blizzard. It's kind of like it's like Final Fantasy levels of like protection over the game. The only difference is everybody trusts Yoshi P. Nobody trusts Ian Hazakostas with WoW. Very few people have faith in him. At least I don't know anybody that does. Which is kind of sad. Because he's not like a bad game developer, but at the same time, like Ian, he wasn't a game dev when he first came into WoW. I'm like 99% sure he was a lawyer when he got hired to do encounter design. I think he was hired to do encounter design for World of Warcraft and Wrath of the Lich King. So they hired a lawyer, and now he's the lead for World of Warcraft. You know, which isn't to say, like, obviously he's got way more experience than, you know, myself or most people developing games at this point. But when he first started, he really didn't. He does it for a paycheck and not much else, kind of thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because like, there's been he's really good at lawyer speak too, because you can tell like when he's talking about, you know how lawyers can say something and then not say, and what they said is like not anything. It's like they said a whole lot of words, but none of it meant anything. He's really, really good at that. So he'll say stuff and it'll sound like something that maybe you want to hear, but then when you think about it, you realize he didn't really say anything or promise anything. So then people get upset when it's like, oh, well, you said this, and then when you look back at what he actually said, it's like, well, technically he didn't say that, you know. It's that kind of thing. Oh, this is bad. Run. Get out. Don't aggro. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I'm getting out of here. That shit hurts. See, I was telling you about those pillagers, those motherfuckers. Those guys are fucking dangerous. Like, crazy dangerous. Yeah, it's like I said, they're like in the top 10 list of classic WoW's most dangerous mobs as far as like having killed the most players. But yeah, Ian's like the exact opposite of Yoshi P as far as like trust levels go. So, because like everybody trusts Yoshi P with Final Fantasy, like everybody. I think if you know, somebody says they don't trust him, they're being disingenuous. Yeah, it almost ended mine. If I didn't run, I was dead. 100%. If I didn't have sprint, I was probably gonna die there. There's a good chance the only reason I lived there was because I'm a rogue. Is this person gonna die? Big time stabs might be dead. Oh, do they make it out? I'm trying to help him. The mob's too fast. Just run away. I interrupted it for him. They're just running around in circles. They're terrified right now. Got him. Got him. That's 2 people now. I've saved 2 people. That was good. I'm pretty proud of that one. That person was gonna... That person was done. 100% done. They had nothing left. Yeah, it's only too bad I didn't get a account for the quest. But, you know, I guess I'm saving up karma points for later. Like, I'm gonna get this rogue to 60 and I'm gonna get, like, best in slot weapon with all my karma points. Speaking of weapons, I've got like a couple of green drops recently. Got the 2-handed mace, which would be incredible for... That's a really good, like, paladin weapon. And that's a regular mace. I could spec maces and actually use that. It's not that good, though. That dagger's not very good either. I do need to get some new weapons here soon, because I've been using the same ones for quite a while now. Like almost 8 levels, something like that. So they're going to be pretty... Requires level 9. Yeah, 8 levels. This one was a level... When did I get that one? That was from a quest reward, too. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get some new weapons. I have to figure out where I'm going to get some. Although, what was the dagger's damage? 8 to 15. It's 1 fire spell damage, though. It's not a... That's a caster weapon. I guess it'd still work, though. I don't know which one what I'd replace it with, though. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with swords. I never did like daggers as a rogue anyways. I've always enjoyed swords a little bit more. Swords are a lot more fun for me. On my rogue, at least. Although, like, as a... Like, alliance, you'd want to do that. You'd want a... swords anyways. Oh, that kind of... Oh. There's, like, these really... like, weapon skill is really important in Classic WoW. Like, crazy important. And there's these gloves, I'm forgetting the name of, that give you, like, +7 weapon skill. They give you, like, +7 weapon skill. and they're required for anybody, like, if you want to min-max, like, super, like ultra, you need them on any race. Any warrior, I should say, because they're chainmail, so you can't use them as a rogue. You would need them on any warrior that's not a human, because humans get a passive, like, +5 weapon skill with swords. So you can pick up swords, and weapon skill relates to your hit rating, so you hit more often. You need less hit rating to max your hit rating out, if that makes sense. I don't know the exact math behind it, but it's really important in Classic WoW. I wonder if people are actually going to try to farm those out, because they're like a really low, like, world drop chance. They're not like something you can go farm a boss for. And you, like, that'd be crazy to try and get those in hardcore. Like, actually kind of crazy. I have them on my my warrior, my level 60 warrior that's not hardcore. I'd have to log over to see what they are. Maybe I'll do that a little bit later, so that I can remember what the name is. Oh, let's see here. There we go. That person got the other one. If they didn't go for both of them, I was gonna... Or if they didn't go for one of them, I was gonna have to sap the one. Actually set it up proper this time. Instead of trying to take both of them on. Yeah, because those guys are nutty. Like, if they crit, they can crit for 100 damage, and I only have 400 health. Oh. They were trying to tag the mob out from under me. Well, I've got 4 of them. Slowly but surely. Yeah. I really am looking forward to getting out of the lower level areas. Because this is, there's too many people here. For sure. I've seen some people playing like 40 plus, and the zones are like 1/4 of the people make it to level 40. So there's way fewer people that are level 40. Yeah, like not seeing any high level deaths at all. And there is a lot of level 60s. Like, I'm pretty sure if I slash who 60. 41 people, so it's not a max page. Max page is 50. So there's 41 level 60s that are online. A lot of them are in Blackrock Mountain. They're probably doing BRD, which is a dungeon. A lot in Ironforge, Teldrassil, Thousand Needles, Western Plaguelands. There's some really, really, like, always in Zul'Farrak. There's some really, like, high-end quests that you can do. Because another one of the really cool things about Classic WoW is there's quests that give you, like, crazy good rewards at level 60 that are, like, best in slot for quite a while. Like, you could use them through multiple tiers. Like, Hand of Justice for a rogue or a warrior. It gives you a chance to have an extra auto attack. So it's easily one of the best like weapon or trinkets that you can get. And I'm pretty sure I'm still using it on my warrior. I used it all the way through AQ40. And if I didn't replace it, I think there was one in AQ40 that was better. If I didn't replace it then I just wouldn't have replaced it. I would have used it all the way through Naxxramas. The whole, like, through the whole expansion. The entirety of Classic, I would use the same trinket. And it's just a dungeon drop. 5-man dungeon drop. And there's a lot of like there's a lot of quests that you can do that give you similar items to that for other classes as well. It's one of the cooler things about Classic is being able to do stuff like that. Oh, come on, don't die. There you go. They had me worried. They had it covered, though. Those pillagers are dangerous. People don't realize. They'll pull a couple of them. It's like, oh, I got this easy. No, you don't. No, you do not. Maybe if you're a hunter. Oh, that's another thing. They set up an achievement for hunters, and I believe warlocks. 1 to 60 with no pet. Which would be pretty hard. Particularly with like a warlock, that'd be really hard. Hunter, a little bit easier because like you can spec like melee hunter. Still be hard though, because then you don't have that extra damage. It's like cutting your damage down pretty low. And hunter damage is like, that's kind of funny because hunters like don't scale at all in Classic WoW. I don't know why, but they don't scale. So like in Molten Core, they'll be doing somewhere around 400 DPS if they're a good hunter, decently geared. And then in Naxxramas, they'll be doing like 700 or 800, and then you'll have warriors doing like 2,000. Rogues doing like 2,000. Like they don't scale at all. So they're like top DPS in Molten Core, and then they're bottom in Nax. Warriors are still pretty much top though in Molten Core even. They're like really close to top. There's something. Oh. Now the question is, can I pull one of them without pulling both? Oh, looks like we got it. Oh, and they ran a good direction too. They ran away. Oh, there's a chest in there. This could be big. Chests are huge. Like if you can get a chest, I'm hoping nobody comes up and sees it, because there's a chance that they have like really good like world drops in them. See if I get anything. I got garbage. That's disappointing. I haven't gotten anything good out of a chest yet, but you can get like pretty good like twink gear out of it if you're lucky. It's pretty nice. Yeah, like if I could get I'm kind of hoping when I do dead mines on this character that I'll be able to get some of the Defias like leather, because there's a set has a set bonus and everything, the Defias set. I'm hoping I'll be really lucky and get quite a few pieces of it in my Dead Mines run, because you can only do one run. I can't spam it until I get the items that I want. So I'm gonna have to make sure that when I go in there, there's no hunter and no rogue in the group, so I don't have to roll against them for the Defias gear, hopefully. Because that would suck, like, you know, if you're doing the dungeon and all the good loot's dropping and the other person is getting it and you're not getting any. I'd be disappointed. Come out of Dead Mines and be like, well, I guess I completed a couple quests at least. That would be a little depressing. I'd want to come out of there with a little bit more than that. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, what was that? Oh, red linen bag. Trash. Yeah. I should have picked up professions too. I don't know which ones to pick up. Because professions can help a lot with gearing. Like if I picked up skinning and leatherworking, that'd probably be a pretty good idea. For rogue at least. I think I might do that. I'll probably do that like another day. I don't want to do that right now. I'm probably going to finish this quest and then call it because it's starting to get late. And this quest is just taking a little while because there's so many people here. But we're getting close though. Got 9 and 10 of them. Only need to kill 11 more mobs. Ooh. Ah, he tagged both of them. Oh, your PC decided to update? Gotcha. I hate it when that happens. It's like, hey, you got an update. Oh, can I wait? No. No, we need to do this right now. I had that happen the other day. Whereas it's like, no, schedule it for another time. My PC's like, no. No, we're going to do it right now. There's been a couple times with Windows updates where it's like you schedule the time, or I'll schedule the time, and then it just starts the update immediately as soon as you schedule it. It's like, wait a second, you weren't supposed to do that until 4 a.m. Yeah, but yeah, welcome back. Oh. There we go. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is try to finish this quest up here, and then I'm probably gonna call it for the night. I was thinking about picking up skinning and leatherworking here soon. I should have done that sooner, but I just haven't done it. Because being able to make some gear for myself as I'm leveling up would actually be pretty useful. Assuming I can get the pieces. Yeah. Yeah. Man, that guy had a lot of loot on him. Oh, upgrade. It's a little bit of a feels bad. It got an upgrade off of a gray item that dropped. Was it? Yeah, it was a gray item. Oh. Will we get him? Nice. I'm never sure because the throne skill, my throne skill is only 20. I'm never sure if it's actually going to hit or not. Oh, damn it. Missed. Yeah. I know I said this a couple times already, but it's going to be so nice getting out of the starting areas like this. I'm getting away from the big crowds of people. Yeah. Because there's just so many people constantly restarting because they're dying. There we go. Somebody must have just died. Every once in a while I get that little bit of a lag spike, and I'm pretty sure it's the add-on. Yeah, it was probably Bond HC that just died that caused that. I'm pretty sure it's the add-on because it goes through everybody's client and updates everybody. And that update, I think, causes everybody to lag a little bit. It could just be me, but I think that's what's doing it. Oh. Got him. I should make like a level counter or something while I'm playing hardcore classic. Keep it up on the screen. I think I'll do that. I'll see if I can do that for next time. Go. Alright, I got all my looters. Now I just need the pillagers. And they're not spawning. Oh, somebody just died again. I'm gonna check and see what the total death counter's up to. See how many people have died. Come on. Oh, he's immune. Of course he is. You know what's funny is these Harvest Watchers here. Those are another one of the NPCs that's got the highest death counter or kill counter on players. Yeah, I'm sure there's a widget or something on Streamlabs for it. If not, I can just like manually type it in. You know, it's not like I'm leveling up super fast where I can't keep track of it. Yeah, I'll have to see like there's like a text widget or something. But yeah, those Harvest Watchers and the Pillagers, they've both got like really high kill counters in Classic, which is kind of funny. They're both in the top 10. There's 3 mobs in total. 3 kinds of mobs in total in Westfall alone that are in the top 10. It's like the hardest zone to not die in. kind of funny that there's so many deadly mobs all in one zone. But I think it's because up to this point within WoW, like you're going through World of Warcraft and through Classic, I should say, and none of the mobs are challenging, like, at all. Like, you're just plowing through all of them. And all of a sudden you get here and you fight the Pillagers, you fight the Harvest Watchers, and it's like, oh, these guys can actually kill you. And you're just super complacent because you're not ready for the jump in, like, difficulty to something that can, you know, going from killing mobs easy, no problem, to the Pillagers that can two-shot you if you're really unlucky. You know, and a lot of people aren't going to be ready for that jump, and I think that's why the kill counter for those mobs is so high. That, and then they spawn in packs of 2 right on top of you like they did me earlier and almost got me. Ah. Of course, whenever I wasn't looking. But yeah, the closest I got to dying on this character was actually like before level 10. I think it was like, or it was at level 10. I was doing the level 10 rogue quest. Oh, he was about to steal that kill with a hammer. That's funny. I was doing the rogue quest out in Darnassus, Teldrassil for the Night Elf. And you have to pickpocket this guy, this like satyr, and he's out like on this branch, off the edge of the tree, and he's in a really, really bad spot. Okay. He's in a really, really bad spot. There we go. Got him. And when I say a bad spot, like, I basically, like, I went out there, and as I'm trying to kill him, a bunch of other satyrs spawned in around me, and they aren't supposed to do that. And it's because the phasing in that very specific area for World of Warcraft is broken. So it, like, phases between 2 different versions of the game, I think. I'm not exactly 100% sure. But I had a bunch of satyrs spawn around me, and I was like, oh shit. And I instantly got ripped out of stealth because they were way higher level than me. And I ran and jumped. And to Teldrassil off the side is like 1,000 feet high, so if you fall, you're dead. And I ran and jumped, and I just barely clipped the edge of this branch. And it bugged out the satyrs so that they couldn't attack me. And they ran around for about 30 seconds trying to get to me, and they were glitching out, moving around, and they couldn't get to me. And eventually they all despawned and reset, and then despawned, and I was like having a heart attack, and I was sitting on this ledge with almost no way to get back up, and I managed to wall jump my way back onto the actual tree itself, and I was safe. But I would have died there 100% if I just didn't accidentally get lucky. It was the closest I've been to death. Like, nothing's even come close to that. Because I was like at 5% HP. If the satyrs didn't get me, I was just going to fall off the tree and die. It was nuts. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, no, there's been some close calls, but that one was like by far the closest. And it's funny too, because I was only level 10, and I was like, my heart was racing. I was super like paranoid and panicked. Yeah, just over this level 10 character, and it's like, well, if I die, you know, I only lost a couple hours. It'll only take me like 2 or 3 hours to get back to level 10, because 1 to 10 is really fast, pretty easy. It starts slowing down pretty significantly after 10, Like every 10 levels, it slows down a lot. But yeah, no, 1 to 10 is pretty fast, so I wouldn't have lost like any time, but I was still panicked about it. It was kind of funny. I should say it's funny to look back now. In the moment, it wasn't funny. I was terrified. Come on. There we go. Just need a couple more pillagers. But they're not spawning. These guys should be spawning any moment. Yeah, I should stay out of stealth just because I need to move faster. Come on. Somebody spawn. Get Nancy just running around. Waiting on these last couple mobs. I'm gonna go check over here real quick. Sprint. Nope. Looks like that guy's just camping those couple spawns over there. It does kind of make me wonder if people are starting to line up over in that, over waiting for that messenger again, or if they're still fighting over it. Because there was a line earlier. Then it looks like it broke down into complete degeneracy. There's a looter, but I don't want the looter. Oh, got one. Gotta be fast. These over here should be next. As long as I'm fast, I should be able to get one. I thought that would be next. There they are. I don't know how I got that, but I did. I think his wand missed. Holy crap. Holy. That was so close. Okay. I'm gonna head over here. Hopefully there will be one. This guy's still camping it, looks like. Yeah. He decided camping 2 mobs was better than fighting people for the 20 spawns, I guess. probably not wrong, but I'd rather fight for him. Yeah, so the next one should be one of these over here. Oh, there's a rogue. Yeah. Oh, it's a gnome. It's not a gnoblin. Old memes. Gotta be spawning around here soon. At least I only need one more. This quest is, like, killing 30 mobs is just crazy. This is one of the big differences between, like, Final Fantasy and WoW that I've noticed. Is, Final Fantasy, they only ever have you kill 3. It's like, go kill 3 of these things. Or go collect 3 of these things. Or go talk to 3 people. It's almost always in, like, a... you know, some form of 3. In World of Warcraft, especially in Classic WoW, it's like, go kill 30 things. You know, there's some quests that are way higher than that. Somebody's messaging me on Discord and I didn't mute Discord. That's my bad. But yeah, WoW has you go kill way more things. It's partly because most of the XP, and it's kind of a trick, people think that you get the XP from doing quests, which you do. You get a big boost of XP from doing quests in WoW, but most of your XP for levels comes from killing mobs. So that's why they send you out, and it's like, kill 30 of these things, kill 40 of these things. Because it's basically just being like, go grind for like 20 minutes. That's essentially what they're saying. Go grind for 20 minutes and we'll give you a reward. Maybe we'll give you an item. Yep. Usually a shorter fetch. There's so many people, like, I have the chat. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna mute Discord. Hang on. Let's, there we go. Oh, shit. Oh, that reminds me something scary. Especially like in some of the later raids, when tanks have really high parry chance, or they don't have full-on weapon skills, so they have a chance to get parried. And when you attack somebody and they parry, that person's auto attack against you is faster, right? So it's called parry haste. And if you get parried multiple times, the boss will like melee you 3 times in a row as a tank and insta kill you. Like, it'll look like a one shot, but it'll show up in the combat log as like multiple attacks. It's terrifying. And that doesn't really happen all that much until Blackwing Lair. So just thinking about like some of the further on like stuff as far as like what's it called, raiding goes, because we're only playing with one life, thinking of like going into some of the harder content again. Like, you can go in and you're locked in a boss room, pull the boss, the tank gets parried like 2 or 3 times in a row, and then will instantly die, and then the whole group wipes. Everybody's dead. Everybody has to go create new characters. Just boom, just like that. Like, that's kind of terrifying to think about. Is a boss getting parry hasted like that. Because that did happen to us. You know, I don't know, once probably every 3 weeks we'd have it happen where the tank just died. And when we look at the combat log, it's like, oh yeah, he got hit 3 times. He got parried a couple times. That's what did it. The boss had parry haste. So, yeah, just the thought of that happening is kind of scary. You know, boss getting parry haste and just blasting one of your tanks, wiping the whole group, everybody restarting. I don't know. The thought of raiding is scary with in hardcore. I'm sure that the sweaty neckbeards of classic WoW though have figured out a way to do it safely. Oh, come on. Oh no. I just have to kill him. Run away. Oh, don't. Oh! If that crit, that could have killed me. That would have been close. It could have put me at like 20 HP. That was scary. That was the last one I needed, right? Yeah. What's crazy about this is I'm level 17, and those buggers are blasting my face like that. And this is a level 14 quest. Sure, Blizzard. Yeah, we'll go with that. Level 14 safe. 100%. Yep. Nobody's gonna die doing this quest at level 14. It's easy. Easy. Man. So, okay. I want to go turn this quest in. Let's see. Do I get anything good from this one? Probably not. Nope. I get 6 silver. Amazing. Amazing. Did I? Okay, I did. I think I trained on level 16 stuff. Pretty sure I did. I'm really looking forward to level 22. I'm pretty sure that's when I get Vanish. So, situation like that, I can just run in, kill the mob real quick, vanish and run. Get in and get out.
Your worth to the People's Militia has been validated by your brave acts thus far. Some defiers have eluded us. My most trusted scout reports that these...
There we go. Alright. Yeah, so this quest says at level 17, but it's definitely not a 17 quest. It does give some good items, though. None I can use, of course. Two-handed sword would be good for warrior. Yeah, so I'm gonna go check the trainer real quick.
Well,
Make sure that I
to get there
did.
quickly, then look no further.
Make sure that I did pick up my 16 level 16 skills. And I'll sell and repair real quick because my inventory is actually full. Is there any upgrades? I'm still not sure if I want to use this dagger or not. I'll save the sharpening stones. Also, I need to pick up skinning and leatherworking. Because I'm stupid and didn't pick them up right away. Oh, I should have trained bows before I left Darnassus. Only should have trained bows before I should have left Darnassus because bows are way cooler than thrown weapons. Also, there's not very many good thrown weapons. There's a couple good ones. But I don't think there's any good, like, low-level thrown weapons. As far as, like, stats go. But then those don't really... They don't really have stats on them until a little bit later anyways. So it doesn't matter right now. Because for, like, a rogue and a warrior, like, you can use bows and guns and thrown weapons and stuff. But, there's really no point. They're just a stat stick. So if they don't have stats on them, it really doesn't matter which one you're using, because you're not going to use it to kill anything. It's more just to like pull stuff. Oh, I forgot to sell. Let's do that. Then we'll ask a guard where the skinning trainer is. It's kind of funny. I've never actually, like, all the years that I've played WoW, I've never leveled up skinning or leatherworking.
Just browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you find today?
Gotta keep those hops for quest later. Sell that, sell that. Won't really help me now. Get rid of those. I'm not gonna use that. That's a quest item. Okay.
For the Alliance.
I suppose I could pick up blacksmithing for the sharpening stones, or is that mining? I guess I won't really need the sharpening stones until max level. Because there's some sharpening stones at max level that are just crazy. Like, they give you, like, multiple % crit chance and stuff. I forget what, it's like... It's a couple % crit. And weapon damage. They're pretty nuts. Because these sharpening stones just increase your weapon damage a little bit. They're not really, like, super useful, but there's some big boy ones that you can get later on that are really, really useful. But you have to be raiding Molten Core to get the big boy ones. You know, I wonder if people are actually doing the world buff stuff with Classic still for hardcore. That'll be interesting to see if people are doing world buffs. Wait, the trainer's down here.
You look like the type I should watch my coin purse around. Something I can help you with?
Aha, it didn't. Eviscerate. Faint. Form a feint causing no damage, but lowering your threat. Okay. And picklock. That'll come in handy.
For the Alliance.
What level do I get poisons at?
You look like the type I should watch my coin purse around.
Assassination,
Something
combat,
I can help you with?
poison, crippling poison. Level 20. Is that the damage one? Last 30 seconds. Oh, wait, is this level 22? No, it's 24. Mind numbing poison. Instant poison. That's the one you want. Coats the weapon with poison that lasts 30 minutes. 20% chance to poison the enemy. Inflicting nature damage, yeah. Crippling poison, what? 30% chance to poison the enemy, slowing their movement. I guess that'd be useful to, like, run away.
Light bless you.
So if you kept, like, crippling poison on your weapons, if you were going into a dangerous scenario, you didn't know if you were going to live, it might be safer to do that, so then maybe you could run out. Maybe if Vanish wasn't, like, an option. I don't know. Stuff like that, it's kind of interesting to think about. And it's not really anything that, like, I've never really thought about it before. Because death in World of Warcraft just, I mean, doesn't mean anything, unless you're playing hardcore, obviously. Then it does mean something, because you got to start over when you die. So, constantly thinking or trying to think of ways that I can improve my survivability and stuff. Raiding as a melee is going to be terrifying, though, because there's some bosses that are just brutal to melee.
King's
What do you
honor.
need directions to?
Like Ragnaros. It's funny. There's a mechanic that we just didn't do in our raid, and we called it melee roulette. I think most guilds probably did this too. So there was a specific mechanic for Ragnaros that you're supposed to move out on, or he'll just one-shot one of the melee. You never know which one it's going to be, but he's going to one-shot one of the melee. And sometimes it hit you, sometimes it didn't. So sometimes you did big DPS because you were just standing there not moving, and other times, well, you were dead. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that now.
Trainer are you looking for?
I am looking for skinning.
You're going to want to head over to Old Town and
Go
drop
with
by the
honor,
Protective
friend.
Hide if you're looking to learn skinning.
Ah, over here. Yeah, I really think that that AI, like reading everything for you, is super cool. I'm looking forward to doing some of the more like lore heavy quests, and having it read it off. That's gonna be fun. Skinning trainer.
What can
I
do
don't
for
get too
you?
many skinners in here looking for training, but I guess I could teach you something if you're ready.
Yes.
Be careful.
Leatherworking armor merchant. Bag vendor. Leatherworking supplies. Expert leatherworker. Journeyman leatherworker.
What can I do? I already know a lot about style. Now it's just a matter of mastering the techniques for working with leather. Good thing Simon's a real sport about helping me learn them.
And now I need a
I
skinning
sell
knife.
only the best gear, tested and true. And the prices are set, so if you want to haggle, then go find a goblin.
Oof. Those are expensive.
I
King's
sell
honor,
only the
friend.
best gear, tested and true, and the prices are set. So if you want to haggle, then go find a goblin.
They just said the same thing. That's funny. 10 gold for a 12 slot bag, though. Oof. Oh, you know what? I realized just now that I haven't gotten a single bag drop. I had to buy all the small pouches. I just realized I haven't gotten an actual, like, single
Safe
bag drop.
travels.
Usually I get a couple of them. I guess I'm gonna have to go to like a general store or something to get a skinning knife. Put these down here. Oh. No. I'm keeping these bag of marbles for a rainy day. Decrease your target's chance of hit by 25% for 10 seconds. Like if I combine that with my evasion later on, if there's like a really hard like elite or something that I need to solo, I might be able to like combine that and evasion and pop some DPS cooldowns and just blast it real quick and get through it like maybe a oh, what's it called? You know, get through a solo quest that or a quest solo that maybe I wasn't supposed to solo. I think that'd be kind of fun. Do that because there's a couple other items like marbles, bag of marbles that come in handy like that
Just
later.
browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you find today?
Do you have a skinning knife? I don't think you do.
Best deals in all of Stormwind, my friend. Won't find any better. Now, what can I help you with?
Nope.
See you later.
That's weird. There has to be a skinning knife over there, right? Why would they not sell a skinning knife in this place where you learn skinning? I think you need a skinning knife for that. Let's see. Fairy attack. Leatherworking. Skinning. Yeah, it requires a skinning knife. I knew it. Yeah. Okay. Well. I guess I didn't talk to this
I
person.
sell only the best gear, tested and
There it
true,
is. Skinning
and
knife.
the prices are set. So if you want to haggle, then go find a goblin.
Got it. Okay. Alright. I should go train first aid too. I think I need some wool to actually make anything decent now though. Yeah. Let's go check that. Bunch of people leveling up fishing. Oh, I went past. I'm not sure if they're actually leveling up fishing for fishing or if they're trying to fish up items. I know there's a bunch of like really good items that you can fish up, but I don't know if I'd ever want to spend the time doing that. Like an item that you're going to use temporarily, you know, maybe for a couple levels. I can't really imagine spending hours getting that, you know, an item like that. You know, potentially not even getting it at all. Spending hours there and then not getting anything.
Oh, a fellow physician. I would be glad to teach you anything that would aid your journeys.
Wool bandage is at level 80. Got it. Okay.
Light bless you.
So, I don't have any wool, but I'll craft these real quick. It's kind of funny, crafting these linen bandages. It reminds me of the AQ Gates opening event, because my guild and I, like, we prepared like for months, collecting items and stuff like that to turn in for the event. And we ended up being one of the guilds that got one of the Scarab Lords, but or Scarab Mounts, I should say. But yeah, there's I farmed out thousands and thousands of linen and sat around, like, I would have my bags full of nothing but stacks of linen and then just craft, I believe it's the regular linen bandage even. I don't think it's the heavy linen. Maybe it is the heavy. Either way, I crafted just thousands of these, and I would fill my bags up, and I had, pretty big bags. I forget how many slots, probably 16, and 16 slots, and one or two 18. I think Anixia's is an 18 slot bag. So I had a huge inventory. Fill it all up with linen, just sit there, click craft, and then walk away for a couple hours and let my character just craft. It was ridiculous. And we had, people's banks just full of linen bandages ready to turn in. We were one of the first servers to finish the turn-in. We weren't the first server to finish the turn-in, but we did finish it that day, like the first day. And when I say it, like, There's a lot of items. The Alliance, I believe, had to turn in like 800,000 linen bandages. It was ridiculous. And the crazy thing is like we had mathed out like the group of people that we were doing this with and like working with. Everybody had somebody had mathed out like the amount of time that it would take just to craft the linen bandages that we needed. And it was a crazy amount of time.
Oh, a fellow physician. I would be glad to teach you anything that would aid your
Anti-venom,
journeys.
wool bandages.
Farewell.
I forget how long it was going to take, but we were behind schedule at one point, and we're like, yeah, if we have this many people crafting bandages 24/7, we're still not going to make enough bandages in time for the release event, so we need to up the number of like people crafting bandages 20, and it was just ridiculous because we had people crafting 24/7. So when you went to the Stormwind Bank, in front of the Stormwind Bank, there was like 10 people just sitting there crafting the whole time. It was actually crazy. Trying to get prepared for the event because we wanted a week 1 opening for AQ. So yeah, that event was nuts. Probably the most fun I ever had playing any video game ever was setting up for that event and doing that event. The whole like week. It was just it was a ton of fun. But yeah, it was a lot of work. This is the bank I'm talking about. There was, like at any given time between 5 and 10 people just standing here at the mailbox crafting linen bandages. And that was for a long time. It wasn't just for like a couple hours. It was weeks that people were crafting those bandages.
Just browsing my wares, or is there something specific I can help you find today?
And it wasn't the only thing you needed either. You needed like a bunch of rune cloth bandages, and needed a bunch of copper bars and all kinds of just crazy, like not like crazy items or anything, but a lot of them. It was hundreds of thousands. I don't remember the numbers. They're obviously like listed online if anybody wants to look it up, but yeah, that stuff was nutty. Yeah, I think I still have screenshots for that too. Well, yeah, obviously I do, but yeah, I'll have to show those sometime, like the screenshots of the event, and show everybody some of the PvP and like crazy stuff from stream clips and stuff like that we were doing. We were wrecking people out in Silithus. We owned the whole zone. It was awesome. But yeah, it's getting late. I got work early in the morning. It's gonna be another long day. Not looking forward to it. So, thank you everybody who showed up to watch. I really appreciate it. I'll be doing Final Fantasy MSQ again here soon. I just don't want to stream it while I'm tired or like while I was sick over the weekend, because I want to be focused on it. But yeah, those will be starting up here soon. As soon as work calms down a little bit and everything kind of normals out again, and streaming is just going to be more consistent because I'm going to stream more than just Final Fantasy. I figured that I could play games that I could just chill out, like WoW, or even Trackmania maybe sometimes, or just react to some content. Like I want to watch the NoClip documentary. I might do that on stream. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, but thank you everybody who stopped by. I will see you next time.